What's up everybody, Super WX fan here, and today I'm doing another car review. This is the 2008 BMW M3 Sedan. And the sedan's a pretty rare car, especially with this combination, which I'll show you, cut to some of the clips where you can see the red interior on this car with the gray. Really looks good. This owner of this car actually changed out the kidney grills here for a new, black, gloss black, piano black kind of look instead of the standard chrome that's on these cars. And I think it just looks fantastic. He deleted the reflectors as well. It's a really nicely put together car. It has an exhaust system as well, which you'll hear once we get driving. But yeah, it's a really cool car. I mean, the styling on this has been around for a while now, and I think it looks great. The front fascia looks really nice. The back end is typical 3 Series, but still looks really nice. It's mildly, more aggressive than the standard 3 Series, but it still looks really good. It's an understated aggression. I really like it. This one has the moonroof as well, which is something you don't get on all of them. So I mean, just everything about this car with the power bulge and the hood and all that, really is just very nicely done. And I'm sure by now you've already made your opinion about what you think of these cars since they've been out for a while now. And I think they look fantastic myself. So the inside of the M3 is pretty nice here. You have the push button start. You have a very nice and thick steering wheel that, if you have small hands, it's almost like hard to get your fingers all the way around it. It's a really nice, big, thick wheel. Really, evokes a lot of confidence. This has the nice stainless aluminum here for the panels and everything. This is a 2008 model, so the iDrive isn't the updated version, so that's a little archaic, starting to show some age. But otherwise, I mean, it's still really nice. I mean, you have this nice, smooth kind of material in here that's like a vinyl leather kind of thing. I was talking about the Volkswagen last week and how the Volkswagen had rough, hard surfaces, and there's really none of that here. Everything's got a nice little bit of padding to it. Everything kind of is just, obviously this is a BMW, not a Volkswagen, but it's a lot higher quality. And you can just tell that just when you sit down in it. And so everything, like even the iDrive controllers, this nicely finished metal, the nice leather for the shift boot and everything. Seats grip you very well. They have nice and thick side bolsters here. You have a lot of room. It feels spacious in here. You have the clear, simple, dials for, the tachometer, speedometer. 200-mile speedometer is actually pretty cool, to have in a car like this. And there's really nothing I can complain about here. I mean, it's really a nicely, thought out car. I mean, BMW, they eliminated all the buttons you didn't need. So you have, buttons for the auto climate control, and you have buttons for the radio, and everything else is through the screen. So it's a very clean, simplified kind of look. Really like the way they did it. Back seat space in these cars is acceptable. It's not generous, it's not as much as the ES that I reviewed a few weeks ago, but it's not bad. It's definitely manageable for sure. You can definitely fit people back there comfortably, and it's not too bad. But everything else, about this interior, it's really nice. So, driving this car, I've driven a lot of BMWs before. I worked at a BMW dealership actually for 5 years, so I'm very familiar with the M3 already. So I'm really, the thing that I'm noticing the most about this car is the exhaust system, because all the ones I drove were always stock, and you can hear it's a nice, muted, kind of bassy sound that's, definitely not overbearing. It's very quiet, sedate. Very nice exhaust system. Nothing like my BRZ exhaust, which will kill your ears after a few minutes. This is something you could daily drive, go on road trips, and you wouldn't get tired of the sound. And it's a great sound too. This V8, especially once you just rev it out. This motor revs to 8,200 RPMs. It's an amazing motor. So it's a joy to rev out and listen to that exhaust system. But as far as the actual driving dynamics go, this car has the M button and all that stuff, so that's helps to quicken the throttle response and tighten things up a little bit, and even just the way it is from the factory with the steering on these M cars. It's very, very nicely weighted. It's pretty heavy, which is good. That's the way you like it. I mean, if you're going to be driving a car that's aggressive like this, you don't want it to feel like a Cadillac when you're steering it. So this thing, it's very direct, very, very sharp. I like the overhangs are pretty short. You just see the power bulge in the hood, but otherwise there's no long hood to look over, so your visibility is excellent in these cars. You know, it's very airy and stuff like that. It's, you know, especially with the moonroof and things like that, it really, you know, it's pretty bright in here. It's not too dark like other BMWs that can get pretty dark. This one isn't like that, especially with the red interior and everything. And I mean, yeah, the shifter in this car is, you know, nice and short, quick, precise. The one thing is the clutch pedal travel is a little far, and the brakes are a little sensitive on this car. BMWs generally have somewhat sensitive brakes. It's just something you have to get used to. If you're on the track, that's awesome, because as soon as you touch the brakes, boom, you have braking power, and it's a lot more efficient that way. But, you know, on the streets and things like that, it could be a little too touchy, that, you know, it makes things a little jerky and rough around town. But that's just something that, you know, you would have to get used to if you owned one of these day in and day out. You wouldn't notice that after a few days, I'm sure. But yeah, otherwise, it's a great car to drive. I mean, you've seen other reviews of M3s, I'm sure, so I'm not saying anything that's off the wall here, but it's just, you know, it's great with rear-wheel drive. You know, sometimes you'll have problem putting power down in these. That's one of the other problems that I remember with the coupe. The sedan has a little more weight in the back, plus I have a few passengers in here, which has helped to keep you know, the rear planted on this car. But generally, you know, that is something that, you know, the wheels will skip around a little bit, and especially under hard braking or starts that are aggressive, you'll get a little bit of that. So you got to be easy on the throttle when you start on with these, generally, because you got to let it hook up a little bit and then it'll go. Because even though it revs to 200 RPMs, it's still a pretty torquey motor. It's a V8 after all. So you know, you just have to be a little ginger with it off the line. After that, you're good to go. And I mean, it's really nice to just, you know, you can hit 60 in second gear because of how high the engine revs out to and everything. It's a lot of fun to drive. I've grown to appreciate high RPM limits with the BRZ, and that's only 7250 on that car. And so this revs even higher than that. So I mean, it's really just, it's so much fun. Instead of having a turbo motor that revs to $6,000 or something like that, to just rev these motors all the way out and let them sing, it's an awesome feeling. But yeah, and the great thing about these M3s now is that, you know, since like this is a 2008, they've been around for a little while now. You can get one of these for a pretty good price used. I mean, new, these are a little scary to look at because the window stickers are intimidating, and you even look at the options list and it just goes through the roof. So, you know, you can get a nice one of these used with, I mean, you know, like this one has 44,000 miles on it, still runs amazingly well. These V8s are really well built, so you don't have to worry about high miles on them, and you can just enjoy it. So I mean, if you're looking, you know, for a fun four-door car, I'd definitely check out something like this for sure. As long as you're, you know, don't mind the rear-wheel drive, this is, you know, it's really a nice car.